Bengaluru is very often the final destination for India's ambitious tech professionals. It's a city where high-rise apartments offer a path to an independent career and a lifestyle built on personal growth. 34-year-old Sharmila Kushalappa was part of this demographic. A software engineer at Accenture, she lived alone in a two-bedroom flat, managing her professional and personal life with a focus on self-reliance. Her daily routine was defined by its discipline. Every morning and evening, neighbors could see Sharmila on her second-floor balcony, tending to her plants with a regularity that became a signature of her presence in the building. Because she was so consistent, her movements on the balcony followed a schedule that was visible to anyone on the neighboring rooftops. Within the quiet environment of a posh residential layout, a rigid routine can feel like a sign of a safe, orderly life. But that same predictability can unintentionally highlight a person's presence to an outside observer. The peace of the Sankop Lalaya complex ended at 10:30 p.m. on January 3, 2026. Thick smoke and heavy flames began pouring from Sharmila's apartment, drawing a crowd of neighbors to the street below. Firefighters arrived to find the flat's main door double-locked from the inside. They had to use force to breach the entrance, struggling to get past the heavy door to reach the source of the fire. Once the blaze was contained, responders discovered Sharmila's body on the kitchen floor. Police quickly confirmed that her roommate, Shabreen, was in Delhi at the time, leaving Sharmila as the only person who should have been inside the apartment. With the door locked and no immediate signs of a break-in, the initial theory pointed towards an accident. Investigators suspected an electrical short circuit in the bedroom led to smoke inhalation in the sealed rooms. The locked room scenario provided a temporary explanation for the tragedy. In a fire investigation, the presence of a double locked door often shifts the focus toward mechanical failure rather than human interference. This diagram shows the floor plan. Forensic experts noted the fire didn't spread from a single source. Instead, it appeared in isolated pockets. Autopsy results challenged the accident theory further. Examiners found struggle marks and evidence of fatal strangulation before any smoke entered her lungs. While searching the remains of the flat, police noticed Sharmila's iPhone was missing. Despite the fire damage, it became clear that a person had entered the apartment and taken the device with them. The arson was a deliberate attempt to use fire as a forensic cleaner. By targeting specific spots like the bedroom and the victim's clothing, the killer intended to incinerate any physical traces of the struggle. With the case now a murder investigation, police put Sharmila's unique IME number under digital surveillance, tracking the cellular networks for any sign of the missing phone. 3 days later, a new SIM card was inserted. The network instantly flagged an active signal, pinpointing the device to a single residential block. The tracking data led police back to the apartment complex. The signal was coming from the building immediately adjacent to the victim's flat, separated by only a few feet of space. The suspect was 18-year-old Karnal Kurai, a student with no criminal history who had recently scored 97% on his state exams. He lived in the neighboring house with his mother, appearing to be a high-achieving, quiet neighbor. The contrast between the violent nature of the crime and Kurai's normal academic profile was jarring. It showed that a predator can exist in plain sight, hidden behind a reputation for academic success and a lack of previous offenses. This schematic traces the physical path used to enter the flat. From his own roof, Kurai was able to bridge the gap to Sharmila's balcony by simply grabbing the metal railings and crossing over. He then bypassed the sliding window locks using a technique he had previously practiced at his school library. This allowed him to slip into the apartment without damaging the door or alerting neighbors. Kurai entered while Sharmila was in the kitchen and grabbed her from behind. When she fought back and attempted to scream for help, the situation escalated from an intrusion into a physical struggle on the floor. Fearing that the noise would attract attention, Kurai strangled the victim until she was silenced. He then set the apartment on fire to eliminate any forensic links before fleeing back across the balcony. The crime was a mix of calculated planning and reactive panic. While the break-in was methodical, the murder was the desperate result of a confrontation the intruder was not prepared to handle. Under interrogation, Kurai revealed a one-sided obsession. Because Sharmila had smiled and been polite during their brief balcony interactions, he had convinced himself that she was interested in a romantic relationship. This perception was fueled by a steady consumption of explicit digital content, which distorted his understanding of basic social cues and led him to believe his sick fantasies reflected reality. This case highlights the danger of entitlement. When an individual lacks the maturity to distinguish between basic courtesy and a romantic invitation, a simple interaction can be weaponized in their mind. A smile is basic politeness, not a signal for intimacy. Respecting that no is absolute and friendliness is not an invitation is a basic requirement for a safe society.